YouTube, what is going on? Good evening. This video is a special one for me because it is about a game that looks like another game that I used to love. It's Need for Speed Unbound. Now, first of all, thank you for checking out the video. Please like and subscribe, and I will always be back with some more content. But this is a special video because Need for Speed Unbound just released about a week ago their gameplay trailer and then their actual trailer, like the story-driven trailer, the cinematic trailer. And I have a lot of thoughts about this, but we're going to watch it together, and I'm going to break down what I see from this trailer. That was Need for Speed Unbound. Now, immediately, I have to just bring this up. This looks like Need for Speed Underground 2 has come back to life. And it's weird because it feels like a lot of these newer games, like I talked about this in a lot of my Sonic videos, how Sonic Frontiers is kind of taking a page out of the Sonic 06 playbook. This is directly taking a page out of Need for Speed Underground 2. Need for Speed Underground 2 is one of my all-time favorite games. I played this game so much. It was just... It's like a baby to me. It has a special place in my heart. Need for Speed Underground 2 was so awesome. And the reaction so far to this game I haven't really checked out, but this looks a lot like Need for Speed Underground 2. The Night City, the cool colorful cars. Hopefully they have the underlights that you can get. You know how you have the lights like under the car that like glow. Hopefully you can get that too. You have the cool artwork too, like you have the wings as you hit a ramp, which is really cool. And then you also have the cops, which is really cool too, as another element. And it's just I cannot wait. And you see right here, this person says, it really reminds me of a fusion of Underground and Nitro, and that's what I see. If this is at all like Need for Speed Underground, I'd be stoked. This feels like Need for Speed Underground, and I love Need for Speed Underground. Now, the cool parts about this trailer is that there's no nonsense. It's full-on gameplay. They do have the cinematic trailer, but you can see right here, like, the artwork, right? Like, let's even just go back a second. You see the artwork coming off of the car. That is a very, very cool thing. Now, when you're actually racing, and you see the lights, too, and then the wings, I mean, this looks awesome. Now, when you're actually racing, whether or not it would actually end up being a distraction... I'm not sure. I'm sure there's a setting where you can turn it off too, but I'm probably going to have it on because it looks cool. And the artwork looks very cool. Some people have noted that it looks like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the way the characters actually look. Like you see right here, A$AP Rocky and a bunch of the other story-driven characters. They do look interesting. Now, A$AP Rocky is a part of this story. I don't know if this is, his new deal with Need for Speed or something, but he is a part of this story, and he is going to be, I guess, the main character, because if you look at the cinematic trailer, he is a big part of it. He's like basically in every scene. And then you look at the gameplay here. I mean, the cars look colorful. They have a lot of color splash to it. It looks very realistic. It's at nighttime in the city. You have a calendar here where I guess you can schedule races for money and gamble cars and stuff on that day, which seems really cool. You see a buy-in right here. The buy-in is $125K. I mean, this looks awesome, and I guess it tells you the type of cars the S plus cars, the A plus cars. This looks amazing. You can set up. It looks like, I'm not sure about the online component. I haven't shown anything yet, but it looks like you can set up tournaments with your friends, bet against rivals, which is really cool. And you see right here the character model looks like Into the Spider-Verse, something like it came out of it. I want to go back for a second too, because there was a car just a second that was really cool. This car right here, this looks sick. And these are the types of cars you can make. It's so cool, when a game allows you to customize, especially like Need for Speed, a game allows you to customize in any way you want to. You have the wings and stuff, and you can bet. Now, this obviously isn't real money or anything. This is their in-game currency, but it's really cool. I mean, this is objectively the best Need for Speed game I've seen in years. I haven't played Need for Speed really since. I think the last game I even gave a second's thought to was Rivals, but the only Need for Speed game that I ever truly loved was Underground 2. Underground 1 was also pretty cool too. I love Midnight Club LA, which isn't a Need for Speed game, but just it's among like those types games, these games, right? The games that are street racy, where you can customize different cars, you used to say back in the day, pimp your ride. Like, I don't want to show too much of my age. I'm not really that old. I'm like in my 20s. But, that's what it used to feel like with the older racing games. You used to pimp out your ride, boost it up. I hope, the one thing I really, really hope, too, is that you can have the spinners, the rims, the spinner rims. Everybody forgot about the spinner rims. But back in the early 2000s, the mid-2000s, the spinner rims were always a must-have. And then on the other Need for Speed Underground 2 note, there was a cool feature in the game where you could customize the speedometer. So you see this speedometer right here, how it says 146 miles. Shows you how much nitrous you have too, NOS. But you used to be able to have like I remember my brother had Pikachu in as the speedometer too. Like you could customize it like that. I wonder if you're able to do that. Hopefully you are. And then the last part of this that I want to point out is the soundtrack. Hopefully the soundtrack is amazing. Now they had some type of British rap for the theme for this, at least for the trailer number 1. And, it was okay. I kind of wish that they had picked different music because I don't really listen to British rap. If you do listen to British rap, hopefully you enjoy whoever that was. But I hope they bring a cool soundtrack to this game. It's got A$AP Rocky. Hopefully they have some of his music and the Mob's music. But it is looking really good. And this game comes out December 2nd, which is really interesting because they kind of just announced this game not too long ago. It feels like they announced this game maybe a month ago, maybe 2 months ago. Because we're in October. I think they announced it in September. No, definitely no way they announced this in August. Like this game was kind of like a surprise announcement. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot out about this game so far that I didn't even really know about. That's why I'm making this video a week later, because I didn't even really realize. I saw on their Twitter, I do follow their Twitter account, and I saw that they had a poll, which game was your favorite, and it was like Underground, Carbon, and stuff like that. And I took part in that poll, and I voted for Underground. But I didn't really realize that they were releasing a game. And yeah, here's what we know. So I'm sorry, I was just reading the article, but so Need for Speed Unbound is releasing on all platforms no matter what, which is really good. No exclusivity there. It's the 25th installment for the Need for Speed series, which is insane because I've played some of them. I haven't played all of them, but I go back to the days of Need for Speed Underground and Underground 2, Need for Speed Carbon. Like I said, I probably played Rivals as my last game, but that was it. So Need for Speed Underground, Need for Speed Unbound, and that's another thing. Unbound, Underground. I'm telling you, they know what they're doing with this. But the Need for Speed Underground. Unbound. That's gonna kill me for this. I'm just gonna call it Underground, honestly. The new Need for Speed Underground will be set in Lake Shore City, a fictional-based city in Chicago. Just like previous games of the franchise, the upcoming race title will feature an open-world environment, which will be the setting of the game's street racing-focused gameplay. And that right there is the big key: street racing-focused gameplay. I feel like even with the Fast and Furious movies, like that was the problems that they started to go too crazy with we're going across the world world, and we're fighting private militia. And it used to just be Fast and Furious was just, Tokyo Drift. It was a street racing drifting thing in Tokyo, and Too Fast Too Furious was in Miami. Like, it was just really base street racing underground stuff. It was really cool. Glad that this is going to be focused on that. The Need for Speed Underground or Unbound will introduce a consequence system with its own risk and reward dynamic at play, according to Dexterito, thus making player bets and winning big. This is the gambling. This is basically what I was saying with the gambling. If you lose, you miscalculate the risks. That's actually really cool. The game's plot will involve a robbery at a family auto shop. The incident will become a turning point in the lives of two friends and set them on a path to become the ultimate street racer. Love that. So I don't know about you guys, but I actually do care about the story in a lot of games because it's interesting. I like having a good story in a game. It just makes the game feel more complete. And this is really cool. I'm super interested in this story already. Need for Speed Unbound will also feature customization for options and players, car tuning, bodyworks, underlighting, which is what I was asking for. Underlighting, you remember in the video I was saying, I hope they have that light under the car. That's underlighting. Glad that they'll have that. And even turn on, which I also mentioned that you could probably turn it off, cartoon effects, which is awesome, dude. Because I'm probably going to keep them on. I'm not really going to take them off unless it's like a huge distraction. But this is pretty much all we know so far. The game comes out December 2nd, which is really, really awesome. December 2nd, 2022. It's just going to make the holiday season even better. Because if you look at what's coming out this year, it's a lot. It is a lot of games coming out this year. We're going to take a look really quick at some of the games coming out. So, I've skimmed over this list a lot because honestly, there's kind of a lot of games. If you're on a budget, you're going to have to plan this out accordingly. But there's a lot of games that are coming out. So we're going to take a look at this list. This is from Game Rant, I believe. The biggest games and DLC updates too, by the way. But the biggest things you need to know about: Apex Legends has their season starting in November 1st. Warzone 2 is coming out in like November 8th or November 10th. We have Skull and Bones coming out, Sonic Frontiers, which obviously I already pre-ordered and I can't wait for. God of War Ragnarok, which I have to get my hands on a PS5, but God of War Ragnarok is going to be insane. I know people are hyped for that. You have Pentiment here, which is from the Avowed team at Xbox Game Studios. They're making the game Avowed, like I just said, and they're also making Outer Worlds 2, so we'll see what Pentiment looks like. Goat Simulator 3, which, I feel like people on Xbox know Goat Simulator pretty well because it was free so many times, and it was actually a pretty hilarious game, so that's coming out. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which I've, drifted away from the Pokemon series after, like, Ruby and Sapphire, or whatever those games were, with Groudon in them. But this is, Pokemon every year is a huge game, and this game apparently people are saying is going to be really good. Has a lot of open worldness to it, so that's pretty cool. Warhammer 40,000 Darktide, I know people are excited for that. And then in December we have Callisto Protocol, which is a cool horror game for Dead Space fans. And then we have Need for Speed Unbound, which is coming out December 2nd. So yeah, this game is going to be awesome, and the holiday season is looking stacked. I cannot wait. This game just looks great. I'm probably going to end up pre-ordering this game at some point and getting whatever the highest edition is as I see some more gameplay, because it just looks awesome. And the only thing I want to see left is the multiplayer, but I cannot wait for this game. Let me know what you think. Are you even a racing fan? Do you care about racing games at all? Are you interested in Need for Speed Unbound? And if so, are you going to get the game or are you going to pass on this one? Let me know in the comment section below, and I will be back with some more content very, very soon. Thank you for stopping by.